In this video we're going to talk about how to deal with the big problems, the most challenging obstacles that you have in your life experience. We can probably agree that you have things that are easy to overcome, smaller little things, but you also have the bigger ones. And in this video we're going to gain clarity about how to deal with all of them. I think first and foremost we need to recognize that you aren't always at the right place to deal with anything. Sometimes you just feel like doing something else. And changing your mind about what you think about a food dish can be a very simple little thing. And that is actually shadow work. Let's say that you went from rating it a 3 out of 10. You can easily get to a 4 out of 10 if you change your mind a little bit. And sometimes you feel like doing that and sometimes you don't. And trying to do something that you don't want to do, especially something that you don't want to do right now, can be challenging. It's of course possible to overcome and manipulate, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Then we have the big obstacles, the things that are the most challenging to deal with, the things that would need you to do your absolute best, and still you might not be able to deal with it. It is the peak of challenges that you could deal with right now, because those exist, and you're probably experiencing the negative effects of a problem like that in your life. You probably have a real challenge, but how do you deal with it? Well, I said in one of the previous videos that all things are dealt with in the same way. And essentially in the core of it, they are. Especially if it's about simply raising the frequency, preferably to the highest frequency possible when it comes to a certain issue. And there is no difference with the biggest issues. What I said previously was that you need a good source-self connection. And you should not go there to where you surround yourself in that problem and get caught up in it. If you can rather focus on your source-self connection, on being here and now in your source energies, and stop visiting that problem in the way that you give away your presence here and now in your source energies for so to rather go and experience it, then you are on a good way. Because in the source energies you will have the guidance, you will have the natural clarity of how that problem should be perceived. And by perceiving it in the way that the guidance that you will only get here and now in your source energies are guiding you to do, then you will be set free. But the reason that it is so challenging is because it's the thing that you are already potentially the most caught up in. And your subconscious has the best reasons to keep visiting it and to keep looking at it and to keep focusing on it. And the reason it is so challenging is because all of these reasons to keep energizing it like that is more active than the reasons you have to rather stay in your source energies. It has kinda grabbed a hold of you. And it will need your utmost carefulness, dedication, and peak ability to deal with. And there is nothing wrong with that. if you now were able to deal with that, well, then you have become a lot more powerful. But then again, for you to become even more powerful, there will probably be a next level of thing that you have to be able to deal with. And that's the game. We might have many different obstacles. Some of them are easy to deal with, some of them are more challenging. And then you have those that are most challenging. But it doesn't mean that you are not accomplished. It's just how the game works. You have those things that are more challenging for you to deal with, because a part of you think that that problem is really challenging, because you are caught up in it. But you see, if you can have a good source-self connection, and you can focus only on that, let's say that you're not even thinking about dealing with that problem yet. You're just going to increase your source-self connection and your presence in your source energies. Then you do that, and from that place, you can start becoming aware of this biggest challenge that you have. And you might have the urge to go there, more so than any other problem you have. But this is the most challenging problem you have right now. You need to do your absolute best to stay in your source energies. Turn mentally loose. Tell yourself that you don't have any urge to go there, that you can rather stay in your source energies and observe it. And then you have a little game going on. It's the game of not going there. And if you can play that game well, you could successfully overcome it. And we have to remember that all of the problems, no matter in what aspect of life they are, it's never your source energy. It's a different energy that your avatar can't handle. It thinks it's too scary or too convincing, that it has to be real. And if you can understand that your source energy is always in your best interest, it is the highest frequency that will completely set you free. And all other things, anything outside of your source energies, will always be unbeneficial compared to the source energy. And you have so many aspects of life. You have issues with thinking that you can achieve something. Well, source knows that you can achieve it. So if there is any issue going on there, then that is in your avatar. That is probably a low frequency subconscious. It is definitely not your source energy that think little of you. Or if it is self-worth, what you can achieve and accomplish, it is all just a little cloud, and all of them can be successfully dealt with if you commit to the source energy. And from that place you will have the clarity that of course you are worthy. Of course you can achieve and accomplish and be successful. And from that place in your source energy, you're teaching your avatar. You're giving your avatar the best teacher there is. Yourself, source, the moment, all-knowing. But if you don't commit to the source energies, to your source self-connection, but you rather go to the problem, well, then you don't have any guidance to know how to overcome it. The problem is just filled with a matrix of why the problem should exist, and that it has all the reasons to exist because of this and that and whatever you resonate with from that matrix. I mean, what your avatar resonates with. So being caught up in a problem is never beneficial. You get a good source self-connection and a good recognition of your source energies, and you commit to them. And from that place you recognize the contrast in your source energy and all of the lower frequency energies. And you will be able to see that there is nothing as beneficial as the source energy. They are all just a low frequency misconception of who you are and what you are capable of. And source needs to teach your avatar so that you can have a high frequency avatar, so that you can truly be free and empowered. So you see that small problems and big problems are all the same. It's just a matter of to what degree your avatar thinks that those things have to be real. You know perfectly well that you can change your mind about how good that dish was. You know perfectly well that it can be easy to make small little changes here and there. But those big ones, well, they might have grabbed a hold of you. You might have gotten so used to them that you think that they have to be real. They really don't. If you can learn to not get caught up in it, but rather observe them with respect, then you will see that they also can come into alignment and be neutralized, and that you can truly be free in those areas too. And of course, if you think about how you have had your biggest problems yet before in life, well, you have overcome those. It's just the same now. You have some bigger issue here, and now you want to learn how to actually deal with it, how it actually works. Previously in life you might have overcome them simply by having gotten used to them or not fighting them anymore because you have gotten so close to them. So it's all the same, but different levels of challenges. But the answer will always be to stay in your source energy and not give into it. Rather observe it and get the source guidance that you can only get from your source self-connection here and now. So if you have benefited from this video, kindly consider becoming a supporter. This is all possible thanks to the supporters. Thank you so much. Abundance, health and prosperity to you.